Hey everybody. On today's episode, I'm going to be doing patatas and camisa, or potatoes in a shirt. It's a tapas recipe that I had many years ago. I was working with a Spanish chef and, he showed me this one. And I just thought, that's a real good way to elevate something as simple as the potato. Now you got to remember that in the early 16th century, the potato was introduced into Spain, but nowadays it's one of the staples out there, and you'll find it in a lot of tapas bars. And in this particular recipe, what I'm going to be doing is frying it, then baking it in stock, and a combination of wine with it. Some guys like to use stock, some guys like to use wine. I like to use a bit of both. Anyways, it's a nice way to have a potato. Lots of flavor, a little bit of crispiness, really tender, and it absorbs a lot of flavor. Anyways, try it out. Let's go. Tapas potatoes or patatas in camisa. So we're going to need potatoes, eggs, milk, flour, parsley, some stock, some wine, some pimentón, some salt and pepper. So let's go over everything, make sure all our mise en place is there. Our potatoes, our flour, our milk, eggs, parsley. I'm using a bit of onion puree instead of onion, but you can interchange. Some salt, some pepper, and smoked paprika or pimentón. We're also going to need a blend of stock and wine, 125 mils each. Okay, let's get on to the assembly. First, we're going to make a seasoned flour. So we put our flour into a bowl, just like this, and then we're going to add our salt, our pepper, and our pimentón, and just give it a rough mix together. This adds a nice flavor to our batter when we coat our potatoes. Now we're going to make our egg mixture. We take our eggs, we break them into a bowl just like this. Then what we do is we add our milk, 15 mils worth, and a little bit of salt, under a gram, and a couple of cranks of pepper. Then we just beat it together, break up the curd. Next, what we do is we peel and chop our potatoes. Very simple, straightforward. And are all done like that. Next, we slice them. You want to go about half an inch thick, or about the width of your finger. It's a little thicker, but this helps in the cooking process. They won't break down as easily. So once we've done all that, we take our potatoes and we put them in some cold water. This prevents them from discoloring until you need them. Finally, what we're going to do is we're going to take our parsley and chop it up. See? Simple as that. On to the cooking. We take our potatoes, we dry them off, and we coat them in the seasoned flour that we made. Just make sure you roll it around in there and you shake off any excess. You don't want any big lumps hanging to the potatoes. After we've dredged, we're going to dip it into the egg mixture, just like this. Get a thin coating, let the excess drip off, and then we're going to deep fry it at 375 to 380 degrees Fahrenheit until it's golden. Now some of you might be worrying that given the thickness of the potato it won't cook all the way through, but we're going to be baking it again in stock. Anyways, put as many potatoes into your cooking pot as you possibly can accommodate without overcrowding. Make sure they go golden. You might even have to do this in a couple of batches, but once they're done, it should look like this, and you let the excess oil drip off on a paper towel. Now, we're going to cook out our onion. So we put some olive oil into a pan, medium-high heat. And you could put in onion puree like I am, or chopped onion. And you just want to release a bit of the caramels, get some of the onion odor and aroma out. And then I'm going to add a bay leaf to this dish. You don't have to, but I find it adds a little extra flavor. So you put that in your casserole or baking dish, followed by our fried onions and a little bit of olive oil. Then after that, what we're going to do is we're going to lay down our fried potatoes. Just put them in that dish. Make sure there's enough space around, but just get them all in there. Once that's done, we're going to add half of our chopped parsley. The rest we're going to use for garnish at the end, but we need some for flavor. So put half, sprinkle them all around, and then finally we add our wine and stock mixture over our potatoes. We put it into a preheated oven at 400 until all the liquid is absorbed, about 35 minutes. Then sprinkle with parsley at the end, plate it, put it on a toothpick, and you get a super tender potato with a crispy shirt on the outside. Really good tapas. Cheers, everybody.